Okay, so I'm not the best guitarist in the world, but what I am expert in is helping guitarists to play piano. So I've helped over 3,000 people in 72 countries, from absolute beginners through to Oscar and Academy Award-winning guitarists. So why am I telling you this? Well, I've been asked by lots of people to help them to learn how to play piano from chords, so like Ultimateguitar chords. So I've shot this tutorial video, which you can get for free by clicking on the link below. And this video is just to give you a quick overview of what's included in the tutorial, and also give you a killer tip to get you playing from the chords right now, today. Okay, so what is covered in the tutorial? Well, there's the essential guide to how to play piano from chords, and also from the different other types of sheet music, such as notation, lead sheets, DecPlay tabs. So the variety of sheets available on Musecore, as well as Ultimateguitar. It gives you a helicopter view of all the different playing styles and options to save you time going down the wrong route. Now, it also gives you the pros and cons of the different sheet music types, notation chords, tabs, and playing styles from beginner to advanced, with whether you're playing the melody or not playing the melody, because these make a big difference on the best approach for the piano. So straight into the killer tip. Once you're on the page for the song that you want to learn on Ultimateguitar, the first thing you do is transpose the chords into the key of C. So you play the chord shape shown in the diagram in the right hand. It doesn't matter which octave you play it. So if it's a C, you could play it here or there, whichever sounds better to you. The left hand plays a letter corresponding with the chord. So if it says C, you play a C note. You can also play the octave above at the same time. So if it's an F, play two Fs, G. So you can play them all at once. So this would be a C. That would be a D minor, an E minor, F, G, A minor. On Hallelujah, what you can do is just play the chord once for every bar, or just every time it's shown in the chord diagram. Or a more advanced way of playing is to play the left hand, followed by the right hand playing it in sequence, starting at the bottom, going up to the top, and back down again. So that would be, and change into A minor, Okay, well that's super easy to play a simple chord shape on piano. Now that sounds reasonable for beginners, but how do you play the more advanced styles like or more rock and roll stuff like that kind of stuff? Well, the way most people do it is very, very slow and painful. And I know, because that's the way I was taught when I was a child, and it took years and years. So my mission is to make piano easy and accessible to everybody. So I've created this tutorial to get you straight to the fun part without the pain and save you lots of time. So the first thing to do is bust one of the biggest myths that exists around piano, that you have to learn notation in order to be able to play piano properly. So some people think playing by chords is a cop-out and it's a simplistic way of playing. Well, in actual fact, apart from being the fact of it's how most professional keyboard players play in the rock and pop arena, but more than that, it can be more advanced than notation because it lets you improvise, and you're not tied down just to the arrangement that is written on the sheet of music. So it's a far more enjoyable way to play, but it can end up being more advanced as well. But of course, you can play it more simply, so it's ideal for beginners as well as professionals. Now, I always knew that people like Paul McCartney and John Lennon couldn't read notation when they wrote and performed some of the world's most famous piano music, such as Let It Be and Imagine. But just a few days ago, I heard an old interview from Freddie Mercury on the radio, and what I didn't know was that he could read notation because he learnt as a child. But he was saying that there was absolutely no point using it because there's much better ways of playing piano. Now, he was doing things like Bohemian Rhapsody, which is not the easiest. So that just proves that learning notation is not superior to chords. It has a purpose, and I'll explain what that purpose can be in the tutorial video. But most people that play pop and rock don't need it. What's really great is that Ultimateguitar and Musecore give you effectively the raw ingredients. You have a massive amount of chord sheets, notation, lead sheets out there. So what I'm bringing to the table is the knowledge that lets you put that together. It's like a recipe. So it's a simple step-by-step process that guarantees amazing results every time, and it's how the professionals play. But I've simplified it so that even beginners can use the same techniques. So there's things like a step-by-step process. So the first thing you do is decide your playing style. So are you going to play instrumental piano with the melody included, or are you going to play accompaniment, say for somebody singing or playing in a band? Because the type of sheet music you'd use and the way you would play would be totally different based upon that choice. Which type of sheet music then do you want to play by if you have a choice? So there's sometimes you can choose between the lead sheet, the chord sheet, or tabs. So there's the pros and cons of each of those. The different playing levels, so beginner or advanced. So again, there's a really simple shortcut that I can show you for beginners that gets you 80% of the effect with 20% of the effort. So you get very fast through to playing something that sounds really reasonable. Now, it's not the same as the professional style, but it's brilliant for beginners. And then covering things like choosing a key to play in, what makes it easier, both reading the music key and the physical key you play, and then using a transpose button, how it sounds. So it covers all those areas. Covers things like how piano can be much easier than guitar in certain areas. Things like on guitar, every standard chord shape is different. So G, an F, an E, an A, a D, they're all totally different shapes. But on a keyboard, it's really simple. It's one shape for each version of a chord, irrespective of the different chord letter. So much easier from that point of view. A killer tip that I'll show you in the tutorial is one hand shape that lets you play the 6 standard chords that enable you to play literally thousands of songs, and you don't even need to worry about major and minor chords. This one shape covers the exact right version of major and minor. It's so simple it will blow your mind. So there's lots more stuff like that about how transposing up and down on a keyboard, lots of other stuff. Also the differences between a keyboard and guitar. Obviously, one obvious one is you're using 2 hands to play notes at the same time on a keyboard. So there's new issues like coordination of hands there. So cover some tips for that. And also how you can replicate strumming patterns. So if you already know a song and you know the rhythm of it, you can take that straight to the keyboard. So lots of stuff to cover. You can get the free tutorial by clicking on the link, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.